They didn't want him to be a prince or a princess, not knowing what the gender would be, which would be different from protocol, and that he wasn't going to receive security.
Prince Harry just did the unthinkable, dragging Meghan Markle to the Supreme Court. But what could make a husband take such a drastic step against his own wife? Witnesses say Harry was in tears after Meghan's shocking actions, and insiders revealed disturbing claims about irregularities in their children's upbringing. Has Meghan finally crossed a line Harry can't ignore? This royal fallout is deeper than anyone imagined, and the truth behind Harry's heartbreaking public breakdown will leave you speechless. Buckle up, because this scandal is about to explode. Prince Harry and Meghan Markle, the royal exit that shook the world. Meghan Markle and Prince Harry's departure from their royal duties didn't happen overnight. A slow, tension-filled unraveling shocked the world. What started as whispers of discontent in late 2019 soon became one of the most controversial exits in royal history. The first real hint of trouble came in October 2019, when the couple took a 6-week break from royal engagements to spend time in Canada with their son Archie. Although their absence was downplayed at the time, Meghan and Harry were already making life-changing decisions behind the scenes. On January 8, 2020, they made it official. In a move that blindsided even the royal family, they announced their intention to step back as senior royals.
I need to do this for my family. This is not a surprise to anybody. It's really sad that it's got to this point.
Work toward financial independence and split their time between the UK and North America. The announcement sent shockwaves through Buckingham Palace, forcing Queen Elizabeth to act fast. Just days later, she summoned Prince Harry, Prince Charles, and Prince William to Sandringham for an emergency meeting, an unprecedented move known as the Sandringham Summit. Following the tense discussion, the Queen released a rare personal statement, expressing both support for Harry and Meghan's decision and regret that they were stepping away. To smooth the transition, 1 year was introduced to finalize the couple's new roles. March 2020 marked the couple's final royal engagement. They appeared at the Endeavour Fund Awards and the Mountbatten Festival of Music before making a dramatic exit at the Commonwealth Day service at Westminster Abbey. This event was particularly significant. It was the last time they stood alongside the royal family in an official capacity, and the tension between them and the rest of the royals was impossible to ignore. Soon after, Meghan and Harry left the UK for good, first settling in Los Angeles and then purchasing a multi-million-dollar home in Santa Barbara. Their post-royal life seemed promising, with philanthropic work taking center stage. They were seen delivering meals during the COVID-19 pandemic while also securing lucrative deals with Netflix and Spotify. But then, in February 2021, Buckingham Palace confirmed what many suspected: Meghan and Harry were not coming back. As a result, they lost their royal patronages, and Prince Harry was stripped of his honorary military titles. Despite this, the Queen made it clear that they remained much-loved members of the family. Then came the bombshell that changed everything: their explosive interview with Oprah Winfrey on March 7, 2021.
Or was a move because you weren't getting enough support from the firm?
Meghan didn't hold back, revealing that she had been silenced within the royal family and even claiming there were concerns about Archie's skin color before he was born. She spoke of deep struggles with her mental health and how she was denied help when she felt suicidal.
Look, I was really ashamed to say it at the time. I just didn't want to be alive anymore. It was really hard.
Harry, too, shared painful revelations, including how his father, Prince Charles, had stopped taking his calls and how he and Prince William were now on different paths. Following the interview, Harry continued to make headlines, appearing in his Apple TV Plus docuseries The Me You Can't See to discuss his mother's death and how the royal family's refusal to address mental health issues led him to seek therapy. Despite their departure, Harry returned to the UK for King Charles's coronation in April 2023. Meghan, however, remained in California with their children. Reports suggested that Harry had begun mending his relationship with his father, though tensions with Prince William remained high. Around this time, Meghan's close friend Daniel Martin revealed that while Harry had embraced life in California, he still missed his home. Over the years, the couple focused on building their Archewell Foundation and supporting various charitable causes. However, their media ventures faced hurdles. Spotify abruptly ended their deal, and reports surfaced that their Netflix partnership was under pressure. These setbacks fueled debates about whether the couple had truly stepped away from the monarchy or were still trying to maintain their royal influence. Supporters praise Meghan and Harry for carving out an independent path, while critics argue they continue to seek the privileges of royalty without the responsibilities. Their future remains uncertain, but one thing is clear: their post-royal journey is far from over. But as their royal departure settled, the real question emerged. What came next for Harry and Meghan in their post-royal life? And was their dream of independence everything they hoped for? Stay tuned. Meghan Markle's identity crisis, the struggle for reinvention. Meghan Markle's transition from a working royal to an independent public figure has been anything but smooth. From a carefully curated image during her royal years to an erratic shift in branding post-Megxit, she seems to be caught between two worlds, one she left behind and one she's struggling to define. Recent revelations about Meghan's past have raised eyebrows, particularly regarding a vision board she allegedly created before marrying Prince Harry. This vision board reportedly detailed her aspirations, not just for fame, but specifically within the royal family. While some see it as strategic ambition, others view it as evidence that her entrance into the royal world was premeditated. If true, it adds a new layer to the ongoing narrative. Was Meghan ever truly committed to royal life, or was it merely a stepping stone? Her latest ventures only deepen the mystery. Meghan's rebranding efforts post-royalty have been met with mixed reactions. At first, she embraced an elegant, polished image, reflecting the refined aesthetics of her Montecito lifestyle. However, when critics slammed her as out of touch, she pivoted to a more casual, down-to-earth approach, sharing unfiltered content that felt forced rather than authentic. This sudden change, instead of making her relatable, created confusion. Who is the real Meghan Markle? Adding to the intrigue is her latest business venture, which has raised questions about her sense of identity. Once the owner of a successful lifestyle blog, The Tig, she abandoned it upon joining the royal family. Now she appears eager to reintroduce a similar brand, filled with poetic musings and lifestyle tips, yet with a noticeable twist. Gone are the royal inspirations that once filled her content. Instead, Meghan is presenting a new version of herself, one that distances her from her past. But why now? And why the seemingly desperate attempts to rewrite history? Another issue is her constant push to maintain a connection to royalty while simultaneously criticizing it. On one hand, she has expressed disdain for the constraints of royal life. On the other hand, she continues to use her Duchess of Sussex title and trades on royal ties to secure lucrative deals. This contradiction has fueled public skepticism. If she resents the monarchy so much, why does she cling to the prestige it affords her? Prince Harry, meanwhile, appears trapped in this dynamic, struggling to redefine his own identity outside of the royal fold. While Meghan has aggressively pursued media deals and lifestyle branding, Harry has found himself oscillating between emotional tell-alls and attempts at philanthropic work. Many believe he is still grappling with the loss of structure that royal life provided. Unlike Meghan, who had built a career before her royal ties, Harry's entire identity was deeply rooted in the institution. Now that it's gone, what is left for him? The broader issue here is that both Meghan and Harry seem uncertain about who they are without the monarchy. Every rebrand, every new venture, and every public statement seems to contradict the last. This lack of clear direction is why their post-royal journey has been fraught with missteps. A brand built on defiance can only go so far before it begins to collapse under its own contradictions. Yet as they continue navigating this uncertain path, another aspect of their story remains equally compelling, one that has been scrutinized just as much as their exit from royal life. Their marriage and love story, once painted as a modern fairy tale, has faced increasing speculation. With mounting pressures, conflicting ambitions, and relentless media scrutiny, one can't help but wonder, behind the glamorous public image, is their marriage as unshakable as they claim? Stay with us as we dive into the reality behind Meghan and Harry's love life. Meghan Markle's journey. Love, marriage, and a royal transformation. Meghan Markle's romantic journey has been anything but conventional. Before stepping into the royal spotlight, she experienced love, heartbreak, and reinvention. Her first major relationship was with American film producer Trevor Engelson, whom she met in 2004. After years of dating, they married in a picturesque ceremony in Jamaica in August 2011. However, their union was short-lived. By 2013, they had separated, finalizing their divorce in 2014. Though neither publicly revealed the cause, speculation points to career demands and long-distance strain. Following her divorce, Meghan entered a 2-year relationship with Canadian celebrity chef Corey Vitiello. Their romance ended in May 2016, but what seemed like an ordinary breakup was, in hindsight, the beginning of a life-altering chapter. That same year, Meghan met Prince Harry, grandson of Queen Elizabeth II. Their connection was immediate, and while they have given differing accounts of how they met, some say a mutual friend set them up, others claim Instagram played a role, one thing was clear: this was serious. By November, their relationship became public, triggering a media frenzy. With the spotlight came relentless scrutiny. Meghan, a biracial American actress, was thrust into the royal world, facing criticism and invasive coverage. Prince Harry, determined to shield her, issued an unprecedented statement condemning the press's racial and racist attacks. Despite the backlash, the couple remained steadfast, making their first public appearance together at the Invictus Games in Toronto in September 2017. 2 months later, Prince Charles announced their engagement. Meghan's entry into the royal family was seen as groundbreaking, symbolizing modernity within an age-old institution. She retired from acting, prepared for royal duties, and was privately baptized into the Church of England. Their grand wedding took place on May 19, 2018, at St. George's Chapel in Windsor Castle. Millions tuned in to watch Meghan, in a custom Claire Waite Keller gown, walk into history. She later revealed that she and Harry had exchanged personal vows in a private garden ceremony 3 days earlier, though it was not a legally recognized marriage. After the wedding, the couple settled in Nottingham Cottage on the Kensington Palace grounds. Seeking privacy, they leased a countryside home in the Cotswolds, but after paparazzi leaked photos, they abandoned the property. Instead, they moved to Frogmore Cottage in Windsor, a residence renovated for £2.4 million in taxpayer funds, an expense that would later fuel public criticism. On May 6, 2019, Meghan gave birth to their first child, Archie. His arrival marked a joyous moment, but tensions between the Sussexes and the royal institution were already growing. By early 2020, they announced their decision to step back from royal duties, closing their Buckingham Palace office by March. The move sparked global debate, with supporters praising their independence and critics accusing them of abandoning duty. Their transition took them across continents, from the UK to Canada, and finally to Montecito, California, where they purchased a lavish home. However, their new life wasn't without hardship. In July 2020, Meghan suffered a miscarriage, a painful experience she later shared publicly to raise awareness. A year later, on June 4, 2021, the couple welcomed their daughter, Lilibet, named in honor of the Queen's childhood nickname. As they embraced their new life, Meghan and Harry's focus shifted to media ventures, philanthropy, and raising their children. However, rumors of discord began surfacing, not just in their public image, but within their household. Sources close to the couple hinted at differences in how Meghan and Harry approach parenting, with Harry reportedly growing frustrated over certain irregularities in how their children were being raised. Could these parenting disputes signal deeper issues within their marriage? And what exactly about Meghan's approach to child-rearing has unsettled Harry? Stay with us as we uncover the truth behind the parenting tensions that are causing a rift between the Sussexes. Meghan's parenting decisions that upset Harry. When Meghan Markle first returned to the US with Prince Harry, she was welcomed with open arms. Many saw her as a modern, independent woman who had broken away from royal constraints to build a new life. But over time, cracks began to form in that carefully crafted image. Her behavior, once seen as charming, started to raise eyebrows. The way she interacted with people, her choices, and even her treatment of Harry became the subject of endless speculation. Some now believe she's no longer the woman Harry fell in love with, but rather someone who has reshaped their life to fit her own vision, ignoring the things that matter most to him. One of the biggest sources of tension? Their children. Harry has always been fiercely protective of Archie and Lilibet. Growing up in the spotlight, he witnessed firsthand the dangers of media exposure. He lost his mother, Princess Diana, to a tragic accident fueled by relentless paparazzi, and he's vowed to shield his own children from that same fate. But Meghan doesn't seem to share that level of caution. While Harry was away attending the Invictus Games in Canada, Meghan made a decision that went directly against his wishes. She allowed their children to be seen in a way that he had explicitly warned against. For Harry, this wasn't just a minor disagreement. It was a betrayal of trust. He had made it clear that keeping their children out of the public eye was non-negotiable. Yet Meghan, whether out of defiance or simply because she saw things differently, disregarded his concerns. Then there was the barefoot incident. A simple moment. Meghan running across the grass at their home, her daughter in tow. But for those paying close attention, the details were striking. The little girl looked noticeably thin, a far cry from the glowing, carefully curated images Meghan had previously shared. Was this an innocent mother-daughter moment, or was there something more beneath the surface? But if Harry was disturbed by Meghan's handling of their children, that was only the beginning. Another major point of contention was her return to social media. Harry has spent years campaigning against the dark side of social media, particularly its impact on mental health. He's worked closely with organizations supporting parents whose children have been harmed or even lost to the dangers of online bullying and manipulation. To him, platforms like Instagram represent a world of toxicity, one he has fought hard to distance himself from. So imagine his frustration when Meghan decided to make a grand return to social media. Despite knowing how much it meant to Harry, she re-embraced Instagram, posting, engaging, and seemingly disregarding the very issues he had been vocal about. Harry had fought to keep their life private, but Meghan appeared to be moving in the opposite direction, fully immersing herself back into the online sphere. Piece by piece, the things that mattered most to Harry seemed to be slipping away. He had given up his royal life, his military titles, and his deep-rooted connections to the UK for Meghan. Now, even in their new life, the battles continued. He was no longer the confident prince who once stood tall against the world. He was a man who, some say, had lost himself entirely. And if love is built on mutual respect and compromise, one has to wonder, how much more can their marriage withstand? Trouble in Prince Harry and Meghan's marriage? 5 times rumors hinted at their divorce. Prince Harry and Meghan Markle. Cracks in the fairy tale. Prince Harry and Meghan Markle's relationship appears to be facing mounting challenges, with tensions surfacing both behind closed doors and in public. Reports suggest their Montecito home, once a symbol of their fresh start away from royal constraints, has become the setting for increasingly heated arguments. Some neighbors have even claimed to overhear loud disputes, adding fuel to the ever-growing rumors of a troubled marriage. Signs of strain aren't just whispered behind closed doors. They're playing out in front of the cameras. One of the most talked-about moments came during an NBA game when Meghan rejected a kiss from Harry on the arena's iconic kiss cam. The moment, seemingly trivial, set social media ablaze with speculation. Was it simply a moment of discomfort, or did it hint at deeper issues brewing beneath the surface? Adding to the speculation, their 5th wedding anniversary passed without a hint of celebration. No heartfelt social media posts, no public acknowledgements, no grand gestures. Something that stood in stark contrast to previous years when their love story had been at the center of media attention. The silence was deafening, leaving many to wonder if their once celebrated union was quietly unraveling. Disagreements over their children's upbringing have reportedly become a major point of contention between the couple. Harry, deeply shaped by his own turbulent childhood under relentless media scrutiny, has always been protective of Archie and Lilibet's privacy. He has made it clear that shielding them from the spotlight is a priority. Meghan, on the other hand, seems to have a different perspective. Whether intentional or not, her actions sometimes contradict Harry's wishes. From sharing glimpses of their children to engaging in public events that subtly reintroduce them to media attention. The disconnect between their parenting styles has only widened the rift between them. Despite securing high-profile media deals and lucrative contracts after stepping away from royal life, reports suggest the couple's extravagant lifestyle may be catching up with them. Maintaining their lavish Montecito estate, security, and luxurious travels requires a steady income stream, one that, according to some insiders, has become more uncertain in recent months. With financial pressures mounting, the stress appears to be taking a toll on their relationship. The weight of sustaining their brand, combined with the constant media scrutiny, has reportedly led to further tension, forcing them to reconsider their next steps. Rumors have intensified after claims surfaced that Harry and Meghan have been spending less time together under the same roof. Some sources even suggest they no longer share a bedroom, a detail that, if true, paints a stark picture of emotional and physical distance between them. The couple, who once stood united against the world, now seem more disconnected than ever. And while some argue that public displays of affection at events like the Invictus Games prove their bond remains strong, others question whether these moments are carefully curated to counteract negative press. But beyond the headlines, a darker narrative is emerging, one that raises unsettling questions about the true state of their marriage. Emotional abuse to the extent it made Harry cry? What really happened behind closed doors? Stay tuned as we uncover the shocking details. Prince Harry's breaking point, the emotional toll of his marriage. Looking at this moment again, let's not forget the real reason behind it. As Diana once confessed to Andrew Morton, she wasn't crying in public because she missed Charles as he prepared to leave for an extended period. The truth was far more painful. She had just discovered that Charles had resumed contact with Camilla Parker Bowles. Now, fast forward to today, and we see a similar scenario unfolding with Prince Harry. His emotional breakdowns aren't just about the pressures of the Invictus Games. This isn't normal, not even for someone under immense public scrutiny. The pattern is clear. Harry is not simply overwhelmed by his duties. He is emotionally unraveling, and the cause appears to be Meghan. Time and time again, we have seen glimpses of his distress, moments where his mask of composure slips in public. Those who follow this story closely may argue that sympathy for Harry is misplaced. After all, he was warned repeatedly. Yet, regardless of the choices that led him here, one thing is undeniable. The emotional weight of his marriage is becoming too much to bear. From the very start, Harry and Meghan's relationship has been a battle against the press, against the monarchy, against their critics, and perhaps against reality itself. They built a narrative of love triumphing over adversity, casting themselves as modern-day star-crossed lovers fighting against the world. But as history has shown, such love stories rarely have happy endings. Even in Shakespeare's tragic tale of Romeo and Juliet, passion led to destruction. And in Harry's case, this path seems eerily familiar. At some point, resentment was bound to creep in. How could it not? The cost of this relationship has been devastating for him. Lost time with his grandparents, a fractured bond with his father and brother, and complete alienation from his niece and nephews. His royal status, his sense of purpose, his very identity, all sacrificed in pursuit of a dream that now appears to be a waking nightmare. And then there's Meghan, whose expectations never seem to be satisfied. The demands are endless: lavish jewelry, designer wardrobes, a lifestyle that requires more money than they can generate. The pressure mounts, and Harry, desperate to keep up, is sinking under its weight. He was warned. He chose this path. And now, the consequences are catching up. Do you believe their marriage is leading to the path of destruction? We would like to hear your thoughts in the comments section. Don't forget to like and subscribe.